and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. Joining me on the broadcast is the Managing Director for Jindal Steel and Power Limited, Mr. Vidya Ratan Sharma. He's going to shed some more light into the current crisis that India faces and the government of India, which has been steadfastly seeking out the steel giants, including JSPL, to foresee the challenges that India faces in terms of the oxygen supply and how our steel conglomerates, the likes of Jindal Steel, setting up the way ahead for remoter parts of the country, rural parts of the country, to procure this life-saving gas. Welcome on the show, Mr. Vidya Ratan Sharma.
Thank you so much, Megha. Yes, the country has been passing through a very difficult time, and this is an ordeal that we have to come through. And the steel industry has come forward to supply liquid oxygen to the state hospitals everywhere in the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We are supplying oxygen. The entire steel industry is together and under the Ministry of Steel portal. So Ministry of Steel gave us a call that you have to spare liquid oxygen as much as possible. So we have voluntarily told that whatever oxygen is available with us, it is available to the nation. And we will be in a position to supply to Government of India, and there won't be any issue. And after that, a nodal agency was formed under the Ministry of Steel and Ministry of Home. And now this nodal agency is governed by the local administrators and the local chief ministers of different states. And we get their requirement, and then they send the tankers. And we fill up the tankers back to them, and this is how the chain is going on. So country as a whole needs about 7,000 tons of oxygen every day.
Yes.
The country's capacity is more than 8,000 tons every day. So there is no shortage of oxygen in the country. So country is capable enough to produce and to protect the lives of the people. The only issue is today is the logistics, because the steel plants are remotely located in somewhere in the eastern part of the country. And to bring the liquid oxygen to western part of the country, like in Maharashtra or in Delhi or down south in Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Chennai, so that is a big issue, because the distance is about 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers. So this is how the chain is going on, but we are always ready in the interest of nation.
Absolutely, and congratulations and kudos for all the good work that you're going ahead, and the commendable one is that for saving the lives of millions and millions of people in our country at this point of time by providing them this oxygen concentrators, oxygen cylinders, especially to the remoter, the far out countryside of our country. We've spoken about the national task team that has been created at this point of time. What were the initial hiccups versus the challenges that are being faced by the steel conglomerates, the likes of yours, in providing oxygen to various states, various districts, and how ready are we for the wave 3?
You see, there are two things here. Number one, the steel producers, they produce about 10% of the total oxygen into liquid. So because we are in the steel plant, so we need oxygen as a raw material, and that goes as a gas. So just for the factor of safety, sometimes we had to take the shutdown, breakdown of the plant, and at that time we had to use the liquid oxygen. We convert liquid into oxygen and utilize in our plants. So most of the steel plants, they are having this facility of about 8 to 10% of the total liquid oxygen available with them. So what we have done, we pondered upon that which steel mill is near to which metro cities or major cities in the country. Like for example, we are located in Angul. We are supplying mainly to Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, then Tamil Nadu and Karnataka.
Yes.
Similarly, we also supplied some of the gas to Chhattisgarh and also to western part of India. We have also kept the options open for the people. If somebody is in the dire need of oxygen and they do come to our plant, we fill it up. There is no issue. Now, the challenges are we have to compromise the production. So 8 to 9% production cut we have taken to meet out the country's demand. And if the need be, then we'll further take a hit. But we will not let the people die for the want of oxygen. So we can go up to 150 tons, for example, per day. Today we are We are dispatching about 100 to 120 ton every day. Today morning, we have stock about 360 ton, and which is a good enough stock. We are just waiting for the tankers to come and to fill it up.
Okay. You
Now,
talk about
next point is yours. Sorry, I'll continue. Next point of yours is wave 3.
yes.
You see, we didn't even know that what is wave 2. So from where the wave 3 has come, nobody knows. The point here is, you cannot predict it. But we are in a situation like biological war. The financial capital of the country, Bombay, and the entire Maharashtra, they were affected by this virus. And then soon after, maybe 2 weeks later, it is Delhi now, Delhi NCR. So two major capital cities of the country, one is the financial capital hub and the other is the political capital. Both are severely affected by this particular virus. How does it come, how it came, whether it is a tsunami or it is a wave, I cannot predict and I cannot say anything. But God forbid that wave 3 will come. I think wave 3 should not come. Because we are now more educated, more prepared to combat the situation. But we definitely have to see what is the origin of this particular virus coming from. I'm not saying that it is coming from some of the foreign countries or something, but maybe some of the miscreants are creating this particular or spreading this particular virus within the country. So we have to find out internally as well externally. I'm sure the Government of India, Intelligence Department, and Prime Minister Office must be working how to combat it and how to solve this problem. Thanks to all of the European world as well as America and many other countries like in Middle East, they are helping country, they are helping India in bringing the concentrators and even the oxygen. And so are the Indian steel industry is committed, and we are hand in hand, we are working with the government, and definitely shoulder to shoulder, we will support them.
Then we take a look at what happened during the wave 1, and we were massively equipped to fight the crisis. In fact, we were at the top of the rung in the entire world, and our examples were given in the countries like United States and Europe, the entire continent, which was reeling under the entire crisis. There were a number of deaths that had been reported. The cases had been surging past unprecedented numbers. We still had requirements for the oxygen concentrators, the oxygen cylinders, but it was not as much as has been witnessed in wave 2. Now that we are better educated, more aware, we've learned the lesson the hard way. Is there a position that we can hold? Is there a logistical, organizational, and managerial concept of proof that we can learn from and apply for future? And also not just for this calamity, perhaps a wave 3 or a wave 4, we cannot really predict that. But we can always be best prepared for the worst crisis that can ever, crop up in the future. But keeping in mind that there needs to be some sort of a digital connect or a digital control room, war room that needs to be created at a macro level, at a national level, or perhaps even internationally, and allowing for steel conglomerates, other key industries to be in touch with the government, the ministries, to ensure that there is an overall haul whenever needed on an emergency basis so that lives do not get lost like that.
Yes, very good questions you have asked in this particular question as a whole. It's a very long question, but I'll answer one by one. Number one, there is already a nodal agency and it is controlled by Government of India, and it is mechanized as well as it is fully IT driven. So they know that which tanker is moving where, which truck driver is having which phone number, and where is the truck today. And now they are going to put up a GPS system so that even if the truck is empty, truck can be monitored. Up till now, they are not monitoring the empty trucks. So the empty tankers, when they go back for the refilling, that is also most important to cut down the turn down cycle. So the total cycle time today is about 10 to 12 days, because 3 to 4 days it takes for the empty vehicles to come, 2-3 days it takes in the cities to unload the material, the oxygen, and about 4 to 5 days it takes to reach destination. The loaded or the filled up tankers is about 18 to 20 ton weight it is carrying. So what we requested to Government of India, 3 things. Number one, please ask the tanker operators or tanker owners to depute at least 2 drivers per tanker. And Government of India has found, therefore, yesterday 2,400 more drivers. They will be working as a corona warriors. They will be like a soldier in the Indian Army, and they will be deployed on each and every truck. So at least 1,200 trucks can run for 24 hours a day. This is one. The second is we suggested to Government of India that is a large country and it is a biological attack on country, either from the internal sources or external. We do not know and we cannot comment on that. But what happens if such thing repeats in future? So the best and first thing is we should have more than 600 plants, the oxygen plants in each and every district or major cities. So our request, perhaps it was heard by PMO, and they declared the next day that PM Care Fund will invest money, and 551 oxygen plants will be installed in different part of the country. So this is a very good move. So the Prime Minister Office has taken a very right decision, I would say, and from PM Care Fund, this money is coming in. I'll also tell you that our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, is a very good manager, and he can manage these disasters in a much better way. We all will have to support him. We don't have to find a fault in the government, whether it is state government or central government. We have to support them. We have to find how to support them. And my request to the doctors, the hospitals, the patients is not to create panic at this particular situation. We also requested to Government of India that nowadays the doctors are demanding online consultation fee ranging from 500 rupees to 5,000 rupees. If you Google it, you will find doctors even more than 5,000 rupees for 30 minutes of consultation. So this is something ridiculous. This is not the time for the doctors to earn money out of the desperate and distressed patients. And this is the time to help them. So the basic humanity has to be shown by doctors also, and so is by the hospitals. So the people, they are running from one hospital to another hospital. They are not even being accommodated in the corridors or on the stretchers or on the wheelchairs. So I think something we have to do, and Government of India must come with some whip, or I would say some very strong disciplinary action against the people, those who do not support the patients at this time. And the consultation fee, it should not be more than 1,000 rupees. It should be maximum 1,000 rupees. The next point of yours is that what kind of preparation, what kind of education vis-a-vis last year. Last year we were very raw, I agree with you, but we got under lockdown. The entire country was down for about 2.5 months time. That's why this spread could be avoided. But this time, the decision has been left on the states. So the states will have to decide as to what is to be done. So this is a very right decision what central government or federal government has taken. And now the states are taking their own decisions, whether it has to be lockdown, night lockdown, day lockdown, or whatever. My also one suggestion I'd like to give the government officials that now the government authorities, they need to open the government offices at night. There should be shift duty for the government officers, like from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Or even 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So then, the overall congestion in the city, overall congestion in the offices can be reduced significantly, and we can maintain less number of people per square yard or per square 100 yard in a particular office or in any institution. So many of the state governments have already told to the industries to please create night shifts to generate B shifts or C shifts so that less number of people in a particular shift are available in the industry. So should be the government offices, so that the country keeps running and we are not locked down into the houses, and we contribute in the nation's growth as a whole in the holistic way. So these are my views.
Okay, all right. That's a comprehensive plan. You've gone ahead and made these suggestions, recommendations to the PMO, to the Ministry of Steel, and all the national task force as well. And hopefully these suggestions and recommendations and advice is going to be inculcated into the next plans of action of the Government of India and the state administrations as well. That's the hope. I would also like to ask you, Mr. Vidya Ratan Sharma, that what has been your personal experience? It's been a long haul of a year and a half, and the second wave has been unprecedented. It has stretched us all to our maximum. It has frustrated us. It has made us feel completely helpless at times. A lot of our friends, family members, relatives, they have all been reeling under the crisis in a personal capacity as well. How have you been able to tackle it all?
There are two things here. One is I'll suggest all hospitals in the country and the institutions, the health institutions, those who are running the hospitals or any nursing home or any medical college. You see, when we are starting a hospital, we try to put up all the best of the best gadgets and instruments in hospital. But we often forget that if all these gadgets will go waste if the oxygen is not available. So what I'm requesting through your channel to all of the hospitals, please put up your own oxygen plants and you be self-reliant in oxygen. The oxygen is made out of air, and the consumable is only electricity. So there are no chemicals, there is no raw material which is required to produce oxygen. So God has given or gifted any amount of oxygen, whatever we need in the universe. We are trying to find out oxygen on moon. We are trying to find out oxygen on other planets like Mars. But we have the oxygen available on this planet, and we are not utilizing it. And we have the technology available. So my request to hospitals, nursing homes, medical facilities to please put up your own oxygen plant. Today, the oxygen plants are available even at a very small cost of 40 to 50 lakhs rupees, and they can manage about 150 beds 24/7. So this is a very meager amount. I mean, even one CT scan machine or some of the very critical machines or very important machines will cost a crores of rupees. So this is a very small plant in containers available in India, and also from Malaysia, and also from Italy, and also from China. And these plants can be imported immediately, and we can fix up in the hospitals. Even if the hospital does not have place to keep, we can request the city authorities to allow them to keep on the outside footpath so that we can save so many lives. This is one. The second point is when we are asking people, or we are telling people, or we are rejecting people to come to the hospital, we must see that how can we help them? What best can be done? The third is the oxygen concentrators. Most of the hospitals, they do not have the concentrators. They are banking upon the cylinders gas, the dry gas. So I also request to all of the hospitals that if you have 100-bed hospital, at least 30 to 40 oxygen concentrators you should have. Now, Government of India has also reduced the duty. The GST is now only 12% on concentrators. There is no import duty. People can give to their relatives and or to the medical institutions. So this is a wonderful move by Government of India. So I think we must utilize this so that we can have the equipment ready in case of any emergency. So now coming back on the wave. So this wave, it was never heard that the wave 2 will come, and I don't say that wave 3 will come or wave 4 will come. Nobody can predict it. We have to gear up ourselves, and we have to manage ourselves, and we have to see that we support government at this time. We do not overload the hospitals. We do not overload the beds. We do not overload the system. We must help government to combat the situation.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, Mr. Sharma, one last question. Obviously, when you have diverted all your resources and manpower in creation of liquid medical oxygen, it has bound to impact the primary production levels of the steel plant of Jindal Steel Power Limited. How soon can the recovery be made? And also keeping in mind, because we are living in a lockdown situation for several weeks now, is there any alternative? You already mentioned that there can be shifts that can be happened in the evening time, in the night time, to ensure that there's social distancing protocols that are maintained after the massive crisis subsides in major parts of the country. How else can the economy be revived, especially the steel industry?
Yes, you're right. It's a very great concern. Our chairman, Mr. Naveen Jindal, he tweeted about 10 days back that even the last drop of liquid oxygen is available for the nation. And he said that people's first. So we have to see the people first. So that approach we have taken. If the country is there, then we are there. If the country is not there, then there is no point of existing alone. So there is an old saying, हम ही हम हैं तो क्या हम हैं, तुम ही तुम हो तो क्या तुम हो. Means अगर जो हम अकेले हैं तो कुछ भी नहीं है. If you are alone, then we are nobody. So our aim is we want to serve the nation. Even if we have to lose some production or compromise on production, we will keep on compromising. We will get time to recover. If our markets are good, our customers are alive, our customers are healthy, MSMEs are working, the steel users are working, there will be time that we can recoup. And if people are disturbed, the entire country is disturbed, then we will never get time to recover. So the one motto is people first. The second point comes business. 5% less production or 10% less production doesn't matter, because steel we can pick up in next 1 or 2 months time or 3 months time. So each and everybody today in the country will have to work shoulder to shoulder with government of India, with local authorities, and I'll also urge media to spread the positive news, and let us combat it together. Let us find a solution together, and let us conquer over this particular catastrophic conditions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Vidya Ratan Sharma, for those kind, encouraging, inspiring words. This is going to send the right message across to the people of India, the governments, the state, as well as central administrations to fight it out in the long drawn battle that India finds itself in. I wish you again all the very best and a safe environment for yourself, your family, and your teammates at Jindal Steel and Power Limited. And kudos for all the fantastic, noble work that you are doing and helping India out in its time of need.
Thanks a lot.